This is a review on Spencer Sabral's photographs from my perspective. The photographs that were uploaded show that the artist has a good understanding of composition and elements in these photographs. The variety of different elements that are used give good dimension to each of the photographs. Some of the more interesting photographs that I chose to discuss show good examples of the different elements of art to compose a good photograph. This photograph shows a large chandelier that takes up the entire frame of the photograph to emphasize the grandeur of its size and its delicate arms. Photographing the chandelier from below shows a good example of linear perspective. The center of the chandelier diminishes in size as it goes up into the middle. In the photograph, you can tell the light is hitting the chandelier from the left side because of the off-white has a brighter value. The light helps emphasize the cracks in the paint and darkens the more distant branches of leaves on the chandelier, giving it depth. This is one of the most interesting photographs. In this photograph, a canoe-shaped container is photographed from above. The container is photographed from the left bottom corner to the right top corner of the frame. I feel like this is a good example of the golden triangle. To the right of the container is a stream of light cutting into the round surface of the table that the container is sitting on. More interest is shown in the variation of the vining on the tabletop. Adding another layer of texture is the carpet under the vine table, adding to the depth of the photograph. This photograph gives the illusion that you are looking through a telescope at a type of a cell. Another good example of the golden triangle is this photograph. In this photograph, the photographer shot the inside of a piano. The eye follows the strong vertical black lines, which are a good contrast to the small, more delicate horizontal lines of the strings of the piano. The contrast of the black, shiny wood frame of the piano and the light ivory of the piano keys with a bit of red makes for an interesting photograph. In this photograph, the photographer focused mainly on the base of a tree trunk and its surroundings. The photographer used the light from behind the tree to make an interesting photograph of how shadows can play tricks on the eye. In the photograph, the texture of the tree bark is in contrast with the smooth shadow it casts on the mulch. If you notice the texture of the mulch, it creates its own look, the bark, making it appear to be one long continuous tree trunk. This photograph focuses on the contrast of colors. It shows hints of bright clay red bricks with complementary green moss sandwiched in between the dull and varied shades of gray in the concrete and pebbles. It also shows the rough, misshapen, rectangular bricks in contrast to the smooth texture of the rounded rocks. When looking at the next photograph, you get the sense of calmness. The soft, delicate, and round palm leaves give the illusion of a swirling effect. Your eye follows the curving of the large leaves that remind me of a Ferris wheel. When your eye travels to the right of the frame, it comes to an abrupt stop and follows the vertical line of the palm next to it. I found the majority of these photographs interesting. One suggestion I have is perhaps taking the same picture at different times of the day because the casting of shadows may give a different illusion of depth and color. In some of the photographs, such as this one, it might have benefited by focusing on a particular flower or leaf showing more details. By focusing in on the red or orange flower petals, it would show the different hues of the petal and make for a more interesting photograph. With this photograph, I saw an interesting perspective on the bricks and light fixture. Perhaps if the photo had been taken at a different time of the day, it might have toned down the brightness of the bricks and given them more depth. Overall, I feel the photographer is learning different techniques to improve their photographs and will continue to improve over time.